You saw him do it to Michael Chandler. He's taken on the highlight, Justin Gaethje. Gaethje. 26 wins, 5 losses, 20 KOs. The dude fucking KOs people. Early on, he'd calf kick the fuck out of people. He'd calf kick people where they couldn't take it anymore. He had many TKOs from calf kicks alone. The guy is just a dense fucking ball of muscle, built for fighting. 37 years old now. He's crumpled people with his left hook. He's crumpled people with his right hand. Paddy Pimblett is going to have to be very careful throwing his flurries on Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje will sit down and rip a left hook, or sit down, drop his head, and launch a right hand. That's Justin Gaethje's ways to win. He could KO Paddy.
Paddy Pimblett declared he'd knock Justin Gaethje out cold. He never abandoned that game plan, even after getting dropped multiple times in a fight that left experts shocked and one fighter refusing a hospital trip. Gaethje, a man who has been in plenty of wars, simply stated, "I'm good," while Pimblett was immediately sent to the emergency room after their brutal 5-round war. This wasn't just a fight, it was an unexpected visceral spectacle that defied predictions and pushed both men to their absolute limits, delivering a violent crescendo to the main event. Everyone knew was coming, yet nobody fully anticipated the sheer savagery of it all.
I'd love to see fucking Justin Gaethje with the title around his waist. He earned it. Justin Gaethje's fought all these fucking monsters his whole goddamn career. Edson Barbosa, Donald Cerrone, Eddie Alvarez, Dustin Poirier, Habib, Michael Chandler, Charles Oliveira, Fiziev twice, Dustin Poirier again, Max Holloway. Like, holy shit. He's fought the elite. So I'd love to see Justin Gaethje get it done. If I had to put, fuck, this is hard. If someone gave me $10,000 to bet with and they said, hey, put it on who you think's going to win. God. I'm going to say 60-40. 60-40. 40% chance that Justin Gaethje knocks Paddy Pimblett out. Hits him on his chin. When Paddy Pimblett's flurrying, hits him right on his fucking, hits him right on the scouser chin. Bunk. Gets dropped. 40% chance, I think. 60% chance this fight, Justin's not able to find him. It's a little bit, it's like a spastic, weird style. He's not able to find his chin. If Paddy Pimblett puts him on his back, it's going to be a long night for Justin Gaethje.
The pre-fight chatter painted a stark contrast. Some analysts favored Paddy's dynamic, aggressive style, expecting him to control the action, while others banked on Justin's calculated striking and patience to secure the win. The collision of these two philosophies ignited a debate among the sport's most seasoned minds, with each expert offering a unique path to victory, making the actual outcome a complete wild card. Fans watched with bated breath, wondering if power would trump agility, or if a new challenger would truly redefine the lightweight landscape.
Younger, will youth be served with Pimblett? Maybe. Gaethje, experience, good striker. He's well-rounded everywhere. But he's got to use the assets of a smaller guy. We've seen it, where you got to box, you got to use your legs, you got to set traps. You know, he's got the capability of doing that. Outmaneuver, outflank Pimblett. You know, Pimblett, let me tell you, he has improved a lot over the last 2 years. He really has, bud. He has gotten better. He's got more. You could see he's come into his own. Confidence-wise, physically, he's in great shape. They usually all are. But he's improved. His striking has improved. He's a good wrestler, grappler. But he loves to strike. That's what's going to make this fight really interesting and good. They're both going to strike. I mean, for the most part, they're both going to strike.
Tim Welch, a sharp analyst, zeroed in on Justin Gaethje's reputation for inflicting damage early and often, especially through his devastating calf kicks. These weren't mere strikes. They were strategic weapons designed to compromise an opponent's movement and stance, turning their legs into liabilities. Once the foundation was weakened, Gaethje's hands became exponentially more dangerous, capable of crumpling even the toughest fighters. This strategy was a known threat, but its effectiveness against Paddy remained a critical unknown, adding layers of tension to the impending clash and shaping many pre-fight expectations.
I think youth might be served here, but I would go with the over on this because I think the over-under is like
2.5 rounds.
How many?
2.5 rounds over minus 115.
All right, listen. Again, we have a pretty good record here, but, you know, I mess up once in a while. I do. That's why it's gambling. But I like the over. I mean, if Gaethje fights the perfect fight, you never know. You never know. But I know who the judges are probably favoring. Oh, did I say that? I'm sorry. There shouldn't be anything about that. It should just be about what goes on in the cage or in the ring. But I can't help myself but think about things that I see. So maybe, you know, Gaethje would really have to do a job, I think, to get it, which he could. But I think I probably favor Pimblett a little bit. But at the end of the day, if I had to put my bucks down,
Welch highlighted Paddy's biggest vulnerability, his aggressive flurries, when Paddy committed to an attack, stepping in hard and throwing combinations. Tim believed those moments left his chin dangerously exposed. Justin Gaethje, a master of timing, rarely needed multiple chances. He would wait, plant his feet, and unleash devastating counterstrikes with lethal intent. The consensus was, if Gaethje connected during one of Paddy's aggressive bursts, the fight could end instantly, a chilling prediction that hung heavy over the impending main event and sparked widespread concern among Paddy's supporters.
And with Paddy, if he can eat it, I can see Paddy catching Gaethje and maybe almost like a Oliveira fight, you know, catch Gaethje, hurt Gaethje wobble, and then, you know, get to Gaethje's back or something, maybe sub him. You know what I mean? Like, Paddy is very well rounded. You know, he out wrestled wrestlers, he out grappled grapplers. He stands with you. You know, he doesn't care. He throws. You know, everybody's be like, his chin is in the air. He takes shots. Yeah, he takes shots and he still walk forward. How long will that last? We don't know. And that's the question I have to this fight. Or what his reaction is going to be when Justin Gaethje catches him. Because Justin Gaethje punched like a truck. He kicks like a freaking donkey.
As the fight wore on, Tim Welch's outlook subtly shifted. He leaned towards Paddy, reasoning that longer fights often devolved into scrambles, a domain where Pimblett thrived. If Justin found himself on his back, tangled in Paddy's grappling web, Welch foresaw a long, exhausting night for Gaethje, transforming the dynamic entirely. Despite this tactical advantage for Paddy, Tim refused to label it a safe pick. He viewed it as an incredibly close contest, where a single clean shot could flip the script, emphasizing the inherent intentionality of elite-level mixed martial arts.
I said this for me. This is a flip up, bro. I'm not surprised if any of these guys win, because I can see two clear paths to these guys winning. I can see Gaethje catching Paddy, you know, putting him down, finishing him. Then I can see Pimblett catching Paddy, Pimblett catching Gaethje, maybe knock him out or hurt him enough to where he can get a submission. You know, I think so. Paramount, the UFC did a really great really great job with putting this first Paramount card together. From the main card, the first main card fight, to the main event is sick. It's gonna be action packed, and you fans are gonna love it. You know, the new fans are gonna love it. I mean, Gaethje is just violence. Paddy Pimblett doesn't run away from violence. It's gonna be a fun fight. Like I said, I don't know who to choose. I'm not choosing no one. I see both guys. I think this is a coin flip. I think whoever can endure the more damage is gonna win this one.
Welch acknowledged Gaethje's warrior spirit, expressing a strong desire to see him with the title after facing a gauntlet of monsters throughout his career. Edson Barboza, Donald Cerrone, Eddie Alvarez, Dustin Poirier, Khabib Nurmagomedov, Michael Chandler, Charles Oliveira, Rafael Fiziev, Max Holloway. He'd fought the elite. Yet when forced to put money on the line, Tim made a pragmatic 60-40 prediction, giving Paddy the slight edge. He still saw a 40% chance of Gaethje catching Paddy on the chin during a flurry, but felt Paddy's spastic, weird style would make him hard to find for Gaethje over 5 rounds.
But with that being said, let me get to the keys of victory for both these guys. When you look at Paddy Pimblett, keys of victory Paddy Pimblett has got to be dynamic. We're starting to see Paddy Pimblett become more comfortable inside the octagon. So the key victory number 1 for Paddy Pimblett is be dynamic, meaning that if Justin Gaethje puts you against the cage, don't be scared to do a flying triangle. If Justin Gaethje tries to go for a dump, go for a Kimura, because 9 out of 10 times when he does that, he's able to turn it into something that favors him in the fight. Key tip number 2, grapple, grapple, grapple. You know, when you look at Justin Gaethje's past fight, when people grapple him that have a good grappling ability, he seems to have hard times with grapplers, where people, you know, when people drop him, Charles Oliveira dropped him, he crossed the volley, jumped on him, got his back, submitted him with a rear naked choke. You look when he fought Habib took him down, passed his guard, mounted him, got a triangle from top and rolled to his back. Now I feel like Paddy Pimblett has that grappling ability that can oppose some problems to.
Legendary trainer Teddy Atlas approached the fight not just through violence, but control. He believed Justin Gaethje needed to fight smart, utilizing movement, boxing fundamentals, and creating angles instead of merely standing and trading with Paddy. This strategic approach, Teddy argued, would minimize Gaethje's exposure and maximize his offensive opportunities. It was a call for tactical discipline over raw aggression, a nuanced take that suggested the fight's outcome hinged on Gaethje's willingness to adapt his brawling instincts to a more intelligent game plan. Atlas further observed Paddy Pimblett's remarkable transformation over the past 2 years, noting his increased strength, settled demeanor, and heightened confidence as a fighter. His striking undeniably improved, still carried a specific vulnerability, Paddy's tendency to stand and trade unnecessarily, even when tactically disadvantageous. Teddy felt this choice, while entertaining, presented a clear opening for an experienced counter-striker like Gaethje, creating a fascinating dynamic where Paddy's growth was undeniable, but a lingering habit could still proved to be his undoing against top-tier competition. Teddy Atlas leaned cautiously towards Paddy, citing youth and momentum as factors that often manifest late in grueling fights. While he didn't dismiss Gaethje, acknowledging the ever-present danger in every exchange, Atlas felt Paddy possessed more avenues for growth and adaptation within the fight itself. This led him to predict a prolonged battle, with Paddy ultimately edging it out, though never comfortably. He even subtly hinted at external factors, mentioning that judges might be favoring one fighter, adding a layer of intrigue to his prediction. Max Holloway, another elite fighter, believed that if Paddy Pimblett could absorb Justin Gaethje's powerful shots without breaking, the fight could swing dramatically in his favor. Holloway envisioned a scenario where Paddy might catch and hurt Gaethje during an exchange, potentially leading to a scramble, taking Gaethje's back, or even securing a submission. He emphasized Paddy's well-roundedness, highlighting his ability to out-wrestle and out-grapple specialists, and his willingness to stand and trade, despite critics often pointing to his chin being exposed. Simultaneously, Holloway underscored Justin Gaethje's unique ability to end fights with a single clean moment, describing his power as instantly fight-changing. Justin, Max explained, inflicted damage with every strike, punches, and kicks, and once those landed flush, the fight could be over before Paddy could establish any rhythm. This presented a terrifying duality, Paddy's resilience against Gaethje's raw, explosive power, making the central question of the fight not just who would land first, but who could withstand the consequences of absorbing their opponent's best shot. Merobe, another seasoned observer, labeled the bout a true coin flip, seeing two starkly clear paths to victory with no middle ground. Either Justin Gaethje would break Paddy Pimblett with relentless damage, or Paddy would endure long enough to turn the tide in his favor. For Merobe, the victor wouldn't be determined by skill alone, but by who could better handle the agonizing pain inflicted throughout the contest. This raw assessment highlighted the visceral nature of the fight, framing it as a test of sheer will and durability, rather than just technical prowess. Demetrius Johnson, a master technician, meticulously outlined Paddy Pimblett's path to victory, emphasizing the critical need for dynamic movement and constant pursuit of grappling opportunities. He pointed out that Justin Gaethje, when forced into scrambles, often found himself slightly out of position, creating windows for submissions. Johnson's keys for Paddy were clear: be dynamic, don't fear unorthodox moves like flying triangles if pinned against the cage, or going for a Kimura if Gaethje attempts a takedown, turning defensive situations into offensive advantages. Johnson also stressed the importance of grapple for Paddy. He highlighted Gaethje's past struggles against high-level grapplers, recalling how Charles Oliveira dropped him, took his back, and secured a rear naked choke, and how Khabib Nurmagomedov took him down, passed guard, mounted him, and finished with a triangle. Johnson believed Paddy possessed the grappling ability to pose similar problems for Gaethje, potentially exploiting a perceived weakness in Gaethje's otherwise formidable skill set, making the ground game a crucial battleground. While acknowledging the significant gap in competition history between the two fighters, Demetrius Johnson didn't see it as a deal-breaker for Paddy. He felt Paddy's previous wins, regardless of opponent name value, showcased genuine skill, particularly his ability to control opponents once the fight hit the mat. Johnson argued that technique and timing superseded reputation once positions were locked in, suggesting Paddy's grappling prowess held up universally. This gave him a cautious lean towards Paddy, citing his freshness and preparedness from a less demanding schedule, believing an rested grappler could cause major problems. Volkanovski viewed the fight from a practical lens, seeing it as a genuine test of growth, rather than mere hype. He made it clear that he had stopped doubting Paddy after witnessing his increasingly smarter and more disciplined fighting style in recent outings. However, Volkanovski also stressed that this was far from an easy matchup, repeatedly emphasizing the immense challenge of surviving Justin Gaethje for 5 full rounds, a testament to Gaethje's relentless pressure and unwavering power. This grounded perspective highlighted the high stakes involved for both competitors. Despite the immense challenge, Volkanovski ultimately picked Paddy, driven by his respect for Pimblett's proven ability to defy expectations and adhere to a strategic game plan. Yet, his confidence was tempered with caution. He admitted everything hinged on whether Paddy could maintain that same level of discipline once fatigue. The immense pressure of the moment and Justin's notorious late-round push inevitably began to creep in. This made his pick feel less like a firm declaration and more like a hopeful yet wary endorsement of Paddy's mental fortitude. Dan Hardy leaned towards Justin Gaethje, viewing Paddy's grappling threat through a pragmatic lens. He emphasized that Paddy's submissions often stemmed from basic positions and common chokes, techniques Justin had undoubtedly seen countless times before. Hardy argued that Gaethje's entire career had forced him to train defense against these exact types of attacks, making it highly unlikely that Justin would be surprised or unprepared. This grounded analysis dismantled the novelty of Paddy's ground game, framing it as a familiar challenge for Gaethje. Hardy also dissected the fight from a mindset perspective, asserting that Justin Gaethje consistently chose the path that drained his opponents rather than himself. He believed Justin learned early in his career that wrestling hard rounds against other strong grapplers consumed too much energy. Consequently, Gaethje evolved a style where he preferred to stay standing, forcing opponents to contend with his devastating power. Hardy explained that Justin trusted his hands more than pure technique, understanding that even awkward punches still inflicted significant fight-ending damage. Bilal Muhammad likewise favored Justin Gaethje, focusing on the stand-up exchanges and Paddy's past vulnerability. He observed how frequently Paddy absorbed strikes in previous bouts, identifying this as a major liability against a composed, patient boxer like Gaethje. Bilal highlighted Justin's sharp jab, calculated movement, and punishing leg kicks as tools capable of slowly dismantling Paddy over time, without Gaethje needing to rush or take unnecessary risks, painting a picture of a methodical breakdown rather than an outright brawl. Bilal acknowledged Paddy's best chance lay on the ground, but he expressed skepticism about Paddy's ability to consistently secure takedowns. He felt Paddy needed messiness, scrambles, and early grappling engagements to disrupt Gaethje's rhythm and change the fight's complexion. Long stretches of striking, Bilal warned, would play directly into Justin's patient, pressure-handling game. He concluded that if Gaethje remained patient, as he had in past high-stakes encounters, the fight would turn into an exceptionally difficult and punishing affair for Paddy Pimblett. The experts offered their diverse predictions, a mosaic of tactical insight, psychological reads, and gut feelings, each painting a distinct picture of how the Gaethje-Pimblett war would unfold. Yet, once the canvas was painted with blood sweat, the actual outcome transcended every pre-fight analysis, delivering a brutal spectacle that defied easy categorization and etched itself into MMA lore. What about you? Did the fight match your expectation? Did your favored fighter emerge victorious? Or did the unexpected chaos leave you stunned and reevaluating everything? Share your thoughts below.